What would you say if I told you that I have not one, but two hot takes? Or like hot takes borderline rants, or like just like super like passionate statements to make during this episode?
I truthfully wouldn't be surprised. I mean, first of all, you are the hot taker of the two of us. I have the occasional one when something really chafes me or when I'm really passionate about something. But you are a good hot taker. You rethink things. You think about things in different ways that make me and others and the listener reconsider things. So I guess I'm not surprised. And I randomly I was thinking, like, I was listening back to a clip of the show, not recently, this was ages ago, but like of a hot take that you took, and it was like something about like the shower sensor, like public shower sensors, and how sometimes they're sporadic and how sometimes they progressively like turn off longer and longer. Like, it was like the most random hot take that I had ever heard, and it was it wasn't out of line. Like, it made sense at the time, and when I heard it again, I was like, yeah, that's annoying, but I never would have actually thought of giving it a hot take or let's consider this. So my point is, I'm not surprised. And you should lay it on me. After I say, welcome to the Movie Men podcast, I am Peter, and that is Brady. And this is a new release on Lightyear 2022. But first, we got some hot takes.
Well, clear your calendar, son, because I'm just, Okay, so two things. One is relevant to the episode. One is not. So I'll start with the one that's not. We'll get that out of the way. So, friend of the show, Carl Eastman, sent us a thing a couple days ago saying that Cineplex was going to introduce a $1.50. Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm. And I will correct you. I will say that's still relevant to the show because this is a new release. So seeing this in theaters is relevant to what you're about to talk about.
Right. So Cineplex, which is if you're listening from somewhere other than Canada, Cineplex is sort of like our major movie theater chain, akin to like a Landmark Cinemas or an AMC in the States. That they're going to introduce a $1.50, and they've already done this, by the way. They've already done this because it showed up when I went to buy my Lightyear tickets.
Oh.
$1.50 per ticket, premium charge, or whatever you want to call it, service charge for ordering online movie tickets. Now, I want to point out a couple things. Number one, that charge, the service charge, was waived for me because I'm a Cineclub member.
So it was waived from you. So essentially, it's an enticement to make you become this exclusive member because that wave is fee
I
is
guess,
waived.
or it's either that, or they know that like it doesn't really cost them, like this $1.50 anyways is just money that they're like, it's just gravy that they're going after. And so they're like, okay, well, this is another benefit that we can throw at our Cineclub members to make Cineclub a little nicer, and it doesn't really cost us anything.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. Two, you pointed out this isn't a unique thing that they're doing, right? The many theater chains around the world and throughout North America do this.
And I wasn't aware of that. That was interesting to me. That I thought Cineplex was like pushing the boundaries here, and it's they're following suit.
They're following suit, but it's still bullshit. It's still unnecessary. It's still, because like I just said, it doesn't cost them anything. Mm-hmm. It's just them. If anything, they're not, they don't have someone there like punching tickets or whatever. Like, what is the difference? What is the difference between ordering it online or going up to the kiosk? There's no charge if you go up to the kiosk when you get to the movie theater. right? The automated kiosk. We're talking Cineplex. So there's no person selling you tickets. Either way, it's a humanless interaction.
Yep.
This is just them. They're like, oh, well, you can pay $1.50 for the convenience. Well, screw you guys.
It's weird because there's a lot of different angles to break it down from, and I get it and I don't get it. I don't know if I buy this, but I think what they cited it towards, this Canadian example, was, a way to redevelop or regain money for infrastructure of, maintaining sound systems and, infrastructure for your buildings and your properties. So I guess I get it. I honestly just don't know why they are so upfront about it, because I think it would ruffle some people's feathers. So, like, in a calendar year, why don't you just increase the cost of a ticket by 10% and not tell people about it, and then you get your infrastructure amortization that you're wanting without upsetting people. I guess another. Oh, go ahead.
But the thing is they don't, like, movie theaters don't make their money from selling movie tickets.
True.
They just don't. Like, there's a zero margin in that. By the time they pay the studios and they pay everything else, they don't make money from that.
Yep, that's true.
They are in movie theaters are not in the movie business.
Right.
They are in the popcorn business.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? When you can go buy a popcorn that at cost is like 40 cents and you're paying $8.50 for it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. That's the business they're in.
True enough.
But it brings up this, like, I guess at the heart of what I want to say. I love Cineplex. And the reason I love Cineplex is because I love going to the movie theater, and in Canada, in our area, Cineplex is the best option.
That's the go-to.
Having said that, from a business standpoint, from an infrastructure standpoint, from a priorities and how they treat the art form, the experience of going to the movie theater, Cineplex is a bunch of ass clowns. And have been for a while now. Have continued to make stupid business decisions and put their time, like, have continued to increase the cost of going to see a movie, increase the cost of concession, increase the cost of XYZ, and have not kept, and while doing that, have lowered the quality of the experience of going to Cineplex.
Sure, right? It's not money in, money out, where, like, the money's going back into a better sound system or, better seats per se.
So here's the thing. A lot of the time, depending on the movie, I might go see a movie in IMAX, and IMAX is always great. It's bright, it's big, it's loud, it's awesome.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to see something in IMAX, but it's something that is still a largely important film, we're talking Star Wars, we're talking MCU, whatever it is, I'm going to a Ultra AVX Dolby Atmos experience. And it's amazing. Nice bright screen, crystal clear image, booming, better sound than IMAX. And it's fantastic. But these are pricier tickets.
Yep.
So the first movie that I went to go see in a long time that was not any sort of an upgrade was Lightyear. It was just a regular plain Jane movie ticket.
Yep.
And the image was a little dim. And the reason the image was a little dim, and Cineplex isn't the only ones who do this, but movie theater projector bulbs are godly expensive. And so as a money-saving practice, as a bulb-saving practice, crooked movie theaters are in the habit of dimming the bulbs to prolong the life of it. But you get a lesser experience because of that. And I could hear the film. Listen, I've been to films where I'm like, this is painfully quiet. Like I'm like, there's dialogue scenes and I'm struggling. I could hear all of Lightyear, but it was still at the, I could hear it no problem, but it was still at the volume of like, oh, the kids have gone to bed. Let's not turn it up too loud. This is a movie theater. I should hear something in a movie theater. If I'm going to a movie theater, unless I've sunk thousands of dollars into my home theater system, if I'm going to a movie theater, I should be hearing something regardless of the ticket that I pay. I should be hearing something that is boomier, clearer, and louder than anything I'm capable of producing at home. Again, with the exception of if I have a ridiculous sound system.
Sure.
Because what they've done now is they've made the regular ticket option. And it's hit and miss. Sometimes you go see one, and it's like, oh, well, theater 6 isn't bad, but theater 1 through 5 and 7 through 10 are awful.
Right.
And if you do get one of those subpar theaters, they have made the movie-going experience such a shit experience that if you're wanting to see the movie the way it's supposed to look and hear the movie the way you expect it to sound in a theater, you're upgrading to the, like, they're selling you on this AVX thing. Right? And it's almost like now, instead of being like, okay, there's the movie theater experience, then one tier up, there's the Dolby Atmos experience, and then one tier up, there's the IMAX experience. Now it's like, there's the movie theater experience, which is the AVX Dolby Atmos. There's the enthusiasts experience, which is the IMAX. Or there's the, well, you cheap bastard, you just want to see the movie and you don't really care what it looks like experience. Here's a regular, we call it a regular ticket, but really what it is a poor man's hobo ticket. Here you go. And it's like, that is inexcusable. You have one job.
It does dampen the artistic process of, if someone doesn't want to pay up to those two other things, it really just gives an inferior experience.
Matt Reeves, we talked about this when we did the Batman episode, but because it's such a dark movie, Matt Reeves, like, one of his contingencies, or not contingencies, one of his criteria, if your theater is going to show my movie, here's the calibration for your projector.
Right. Yep.
This is what it needs to look like.
Specifications.
I went to a Cineplex theater to see Eternals. And saw it in regular. I think it was regular. It was like a second or third viewing, second viewing of Eternals. And there was a subwoofer broken on the front right-hand side of the screen. And so every time Armishin or any of the, like, every time there was like a big booming moment, it like rattled and sounded distorted and awful.
Ugh.
And so I wrote to Cineplex and I was like, Cineplex, the hell? And it took them a while to get back to me. Finally, I got angry and I called and I had a wonderful chat with a lovely young woman. She got me all sorted out. I think she juiced me up with some scene points or whatever. Right? Like, it was, she's like, and we will reach out to them and we will, like, get this sorted out. And so this was Eternal. So it's like, what, October, November, whatever that was.
Right.
I got for my second viewing of No Way Home, I got stuck in the same damn theater. 2 months later. Exact same issue. Same, and I was like, I knew it was the same theater because I was like, it's coming from the exact same spot, and it sounds just as shit as it did. So anyways, Cineplex, I love you, but I don't have a lot of other options.
Yeah.
I love you, but you have me tied up in your basement. So
I love you, but you're all that I have.
You took Tinder off my phone. Like, I don't, you are my option.
Right.
And this is becoming a little bit of an abusive relationship, Cineplex. And I need you to hike up your socks and And, I won't even complain about the price of popcorn. That's how you make your money. It is what it is. I understand. But if I'm paying for a movie ticket, which, is like $12 Canadian for the cheapest, shittiest option, plus tax. So if we're going out and we're spending $30 Canadian dollars for an hour and a half, for 90 minutes, you better wow me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I don't need some little jerk to come in and rub my feet halfway through. I don't need seats to move. I don't need any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I need the movie experience to be what the filmmaker intended it to be. If I'm getting a subpar experience, I just want par. It doesn't need to be this ridiculous, oh wow, you really went to all this. No, just be adequate. Hit the bar. Don't exceed the bar. Hit the bar. Gosh. That's hot take number 1.
Oh my gosh. All right. What's number 2? You said it's more on topic. To Lightyear, the movie we are releasing or
it's
reviewing.
About Pixar. It's about Pixar. So listen.
Oh, okay.
In the last couple of years on this show, Pixar has unintentionally kind of become a staple of this podcast.
Yeah.
Every time a new Pixar movie comes out, we make sure we don't miss it. And we talk a lot about Pixar.
We do.
And in that, I've been fairly critical of Pixar as of late.
Yeah.
Beginning with Toy Story 4.
3 weeks in a row.
Sorry, hang on. Oh, God, I almost threw up.
3 weeks in a row we've mentioned it. That's awesome.
Starting with that piece of shit. And then... and then just everything since, there was like some stuff I was like, oh, okay, Soul wasn't horrible. Luca was okay. Turning Red, I thought was kind of a swing and a miss in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I've just been, and one of the things that I keep critiquing is I keep saying it just doesn't feel like Pixar. Onward was garbage. It just doesn't feel like Pixar. But I haven't been able to say why. I haven't been able to place my finger on it.
Yep.
And I don't think that this is all of it, but I think that I've figured out what the lion's share is.
Okay.
I went back after our Toy Story episode.
Okay.
And I was watching a couple of scenes from Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2, okay.
And especially in recent years, Pixar has been vastly improving their visuals.
Yeah.
Right? Making more and more like photorealistic almost at times in the background and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's the issue.
I
look at Toy Story 2, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., and I'm like, this is what I want, or even Toy Story 3. And I'm like, this is what I want my Pixar movie to look like. This feels like Pixar.
Right.
And so I think that's, and I get it. I get the Toy Story 2 is like a dated look, but it's the Pixar look.
Right.
And so I think when you have these things now, and what I've said is, they feel like if you had given me this movie, no, I'm not talking about Lightyear, I'm talking about just movies we've reviewed. If you'd handed me one of these Pixar movies and you said, oh, this is from Illumination, or this is from Sony Animation, or this is from DreamWorks, I would have said, oh, okay. Right? Whereas if you hand me something with the same animation style as Toy Story 2, I'm like, are you sure? This looks like Pixar.
Yep.
And so I think that's the issue. I think they've had the moon, but weren't satisfied and started shooting for the stars. And it was like, okay, but we really liked what you were doing. Also, what happened to Gone Are the Days, and this has been for a few years now, but it was really driven home for me the other night.
Okay.
What the hell happened to the little animated short before a Pixar film?
Right. Yeah.
There's like half the enjoyment. You're like, I wonder what it's going to be.
It was fun.
And you got really excited when it started.
It was something that really went along with it, and it really added to the experience for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not
It's
sure
been
when that
years.
stopped. Years. Yeah.
I don't think Toy Story 4 had one.
I don't think so. No.
So sometime before that.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's an issue I have with modern day Pixar.
And so could you summarize that? Like, would be saying style over substance is a way to describe what you just said, right? Like focusing more on like the incredible visuals and maybe forgetting other things that made Pixar so special in the past.
No,
as far as content,
I don't think that I think that there's definitely been some Pixar movies that have lacked in content, but I don't think there's a correlation. Like, I don't think it's because they're spending, I just think they're like, I think Pixar had a very unique look, and they started striving for better and better, and everyone else has been striving for better and better. And I think that in the process of everybody reaching for that better, the distinguishing gap has shrunk.
You lost your identity of what you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that doesn't, again, it doesn't make the movie any less good.
No.
It just, that's when I look at a movie and I'm like, I just didn't get that magical Pixar feeling. I didn't feel like I was in the world of Pixar. That's, I think, what I mean.
Yep. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah. So,
well,
do you want to talk about Lightyear?
Let's talk about Lightyear. Let's do it. We'll talk about some hot takes. We will talk about this with many plot points in hand. So, spoilers alert. We will assume you've seen it or don't care about spoilers, and we will just dig into things and not shy away from them. And a new release episode, obviously, as we talk about Pixar's Lightyear.
Yeah. So you just want to get right into initial impressions?
I think so. I don't have trivia.
I have spent the last couple of days since I saw it. I saw it Monday night. This is Thursday. I've spent a good chunk of time and a considerable amount of energy trying to pinpoint how I feel about this movie.
Okay.
I think it's entertaining. I think it's funny at times. I have some issues with it.
Okay.
And I think it starts strong and it ends pretty well. I think right around the 3/4 of the way through mark, there's about 15 or 20 minutes where I was just felt like it had a pacing issue and I was like kind of just getting dragged along for the ride. But all in all, I didn't feel like it was a waste of money to go see this movie. Now, had I paid again, and I saw it in had I paid IMAX, it still wouldn't have been a waste of money, but I think I would have walked out and have thought to myself, that didn't need, with the exception of a couple of really cool visual scenes around like the hyper speed stuff. I think I would have walked out and have said, that didn't need to be IMAX.
Right.
You know? So, what are your thoughts?
I guess my initial impressions are, I am curious if I'm done with Pixar to a degree. I think I'm just feeling a little fatigued. You hit on it before. The recent installments, there's been not a lot that I've gone out leaving the theater feeling ecstatic about, or gee, I can't wait to come see it again. And even with this, I was intrigued to go see this in theaters, but part of me was, after the previews for the other films were done playing and this film began playing, I was like a little bit of a drop off going, oh yeah, I'm seeing this. So I think I've just got a bit of Pixar fatigue, and I hit on this in our Toy Story episode. I think this was a bit too long, and I think that maybe just played into my fatigue.
It's an hour 45.
Hour 45. Toy Story is the sweet spot. It's an hour 21, and that 24 minutes might not seem like a lot, but just I guess I can hear what you're saying with the pacing issue. I felt like this movie had some second winds of regaining my interest when we were introduced in shadows and kind of silhouettes of Zurg, and then when we had a Zurg Buzz reveal, those times did reinvigorate me. But I think if it had been shorter and more concise with less filler, I don't think I would have fallen into these lulls where I needed to be kind of revitalized or rejuvenated. So I think the length and the tone was a bit of a problem for me. And I think just also related to this whole Pixar fatigue, I'm a little tired of these underlying themes being too heavy-handed. So, like, in the first 5 minutes of this film, I knew what the protagonist was going to have to learn. Like, I knew when he made this crash that it was about teamwork and not being a team player and being mean to the rookie and being open to others. I think, again, since we just talked about Toy Story, a good example of why that worked for me is just because in the first 5 minutes, I'm still getting to know everyone and having rich characters, but I don't anticipate where the conclusion of this film will take us as far as character growth or character journey. As with this, in the first 5 minutes, I said, okay, I guess this is going to be 60 minutes of filler till our character learns or does what he needs to do. So I think the length and just some of the heavy-handedness kind of hurt it for me. And I am feeling a bit of Pixar fatigue. I really am.
Sure. So we both have some issues with it. So let's just start by picking this thing apart a little bit and talking about what we don't like.
Sure.
I'll start with just saying, and this is one that's kind of funny to me. Not funny, haha, but funny, peculiar.
Sure.
I like the premise. I like the text at the beginning of the screen, right? That in 1995, Andy got Buzz, which was a toy from his favorite movie. This is that movie. And when the movie ended, I looked over to Brienne and I said, how old is Andy in Toy Story? Like, would you get, like...
Ooh, good
I don't know.
question.
He's having his birthday.
Yeah,
but like
so
10?
Yeah, 7 to 10-ish.
7 to 10?
Yeah.
This was his favorite movie?
Right.
Which then got me thinking, I was like, Brienne's sister wanted us to report back. And I thought it was kind of a weird request, sort of. Because, so she was like, because she has 2 young boys, and she said, let me know.
Sure.
And they're, I'm going to butcher their ages, but I don't know, like 3 and 5, maybe.
Sure.
And she was kind of like, let me know if it's appropriate to take them to. And going into it, I was like, well, what do you like? Of course, it's going to be appropriate. It's Pixar. Like, there'll be enough there for the adults, but it's like, it's appropriate. It's Pixar. It's fine for all ages. And I stand by that. However, I said, but I don't know if they'll be interested in this.
Interesting.
I'm like, I don't know. There's just a lot of like, I don't know. Toy Story 3 and 4, to a sense, felt like they weren't geared towards a younger audience. They were geared towards an older audience who grew up with Toy Story.
Sure.
But it still felt like a lot of fan service. It felt like a love letter to those fans. Toy Story 3 specifically.
Yep.
This one feels like, we've borrowed some themes from Interstellar, and we've borrowed some themes from this, and we've borrowed some, and like, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's like, but a kid's not going to get this, or a kid's not going to find this entertaining.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, it's not fun or flashy enough for a kid to really sink their teeth into.
That's an interesting point.
Which I think is which comes back to, I'm like, really? This was Andy's favorite movie? What was wrong with that kid? It was a little mature for him. Not in that, again, not in that it's not appropriate, but like, did he even get half of this film?
Can I piggyback on two things you just said? One is an observation, and then one is a disagreement with some of what you said.
Okay.
The observation is, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the most violent and action-packed Pixar film we've ever had? Like, I know we've got action and some combat, and I'm just going to pick, for example, like, say, The Incredibles. You know, there's cities being attacked and, you know, things being fought over. So, like, we've seen action, we've seen violence. But just in this, it almost takes it to a new level. Like, you've got laser shooting, you've got Lightyear using, like, a laser sword to, like, cut insect aliens in half on the regular, and just, like, a lot of just fast-paced things. So I think, and again, I don't have a problem with this, and I think it's done in a way that's not horrifying, so I'm not critiquing this. I'm just literally observing. Like, would you agree that this seems like the most violent Pixar film?
Perhaps, yeah. I hadn't thought of it until now, but I'm, like, you know, briefly going through. I mean, I guess Finding Nemo starts with the murder of 1,000 children.
I don't truly remember how that movie starts. So.
It's like Nemo. It's like Marlin and Nemo, or it's like Marlin and his wife, and then all the eggs.
Oh,
and Marlin's wife gets killed by the barracuda, and so do all of the eggs except for Nemo. And there's like, I don't know, a couple hundred eggs or something.
Yowzers!
Yeah, just like fish genocide right from the.
The thing that I want to disagree, or at least say, like, I was fine with the like expositional text saying, like, there was a boy named Andy, it was 95, favorite film, etc. That was fine for me, and I didn't have a problem with it when I watched it. It raised some questions to me about, like, what is the merit of this movie and tying it to this. But in our Jurassic World Dominion episode a week ago, where you talked about spoiler alert, everyone should listen to it, the episode. The movie was crap, but we rip it apart. We're kind of like the Velociraptors, and we just, like, shred that thing. But a point you made was, you know, not a good film, obviously, but there were some tie-ins to the original trilogy and the original films and the original characters that you said, hey, I'm really here for fan service, so, not a good film, not a great example, but hey, if this ties into something that I like, I'll give it points regardless for at least appeasing that. So what I will say is, I feel like it would have been cool, and I would have been there for this. Instead of that text, have like a flashback of how the movie starts with Andy running around playing with, I guess he wouldn't maybe have Buzz by then, but depending on when he's seen the film and when he gets Buzz Lightyear. But have a young Andy running around his house, and then his mom, like, bringing out a bowl of popcorn, and they sit up in front of the VHS, and, like, they pop it in, and, like, you slowly pan in on the TV, and it's grainy and it's fuzzy, and you watch, like, the first 30 seconds of the film like that, and then it transitions into, like, the quality of, us watching the film. I thought something like that would have been a little fan servicey bit that I would have enjoyed, and I would have got a kick out of, and I would have got, okay, I get how we're introduced to Buzz, where this has to do with the original Toy Story, and where we're going with this. And so I think, personally, for me, that was a missed opportunity. Others might not have wanted that as much, but I thought that would have been neat.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Yeah. I did. So talking about fan service, I did enjoy the dialogue symmetry. Right.
Sure.
So Buzz says a lot of the same lines, which, is cool and kind of meta, because our Buzz thinks that he is this Buzz.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. He and all he knows is, like, the movie. Right. That movie is like his memories.
Right.
And so, yeah, to say stuff like, why don't they answer? And, stuff like that. Like, it was just,
yes,
I don't know. That was a lot of fun.
A lot of iconic lines in what is technically their original context is fun. I will agree. Yeah.
I had a big issue with Zurg.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I don't know why I said that. I guess I didn't really adore him, and I was kind of confused of where they went. So erase
okay
that really and just go on.
I'm okay with the twist.
It was fresh.
I didn't see it coming.
No, that wasn't fatigued.
But so I'm okay. I'm okay with all of that. What I wasn't okay with was the character design. So like throughout this film, I was okay with the design of Buzz. I was like, yeah, okay, he looks like I can see how a toy company would make the Buzz that we know based off of this suit. With two exceptions that I was taking throughout the film. One was the laser, because I was like, oh, this laser is like way different. It's like strapped onto his arm. Like that was just lazy toy making. And then the other was like, wait, he doesn't have wings? They've got like this airbag thing.
Right.
And then he does get the wings, but it's like part of the ejection seat thing. And so I was taking some big issue with that right up until the end of the film where they get their new suits. And I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. And the same with the box ship. Like I too took exception where I'm like, this turnip thing, where's a ship that's reminiscent of the box that's on Andy's bed?
And then we get it right at the end.
Yeah, same difference. I hear you.
And so that was fine. But I don't know. I'm like, then I want to look at, so we see Zurg in Toy Story 2, the toy Zurg. And I had a toy Zurg as a kid. And there was the TV show, the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show, and the Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie. And those both have Zurg in them. And so we've established what Zurg looks like in this universe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did the people who designed the toy see the movie?
Right.
Because he's like, he's supposed to be, he's on like wheels. He's on wheels and he has a like Count Dracula cape almost. And and they turned him into like a Transformer sized mech suit thing. And so I was okay with the twist, but ultimately I was like, this feels like a large departure. I'm not getting any of those goosebumps or those hairs raising from Zurg that I am getting from, say, Buzz.
I'm glad you brought this up because I hadn't really considered a whole lot of this until you've mentioned it and until you're exploring this. I think, thinking back on it now, I think I enjoyed the journey, like the momentary journey of where they went with Zurg and having us be surprised of, what that involved. And then it was really Buzz, or we thought it was his father, then it was Buzz and a future Buzz. And so I like, as keeping us on our toes, entertainment perspective, I thought that was great. But now that the film is over and I'm just sitting here thinking about it, I don't know if that really, like, I just don't really appreciate how that kind of jives. Like, I guess I'm just trying to think of this expanded universe of how this is supposed to make sense. Like, Zurg is the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance. Like, that is ingrained in us and what we've been told. And so just then this whole, well, it's really a future Buzz who, like, is portrayed as Zurg, or like moonlighting as Zurg, or, I guess just it doesn't really connect with me of where what Zurg was or what Zurg was implied to be, and then what he was in this film. Like, I just think it's like there's no bridge between them. It just doesn't really make sense to me. I think I have a problem with that.
Did you stay till the bitter end for the final post-credit scene?
Oh, gosh almighty. I stayed for the first one. Did I miss one?
Yeah, right at the at the end, like after the Disney logo and the Pixar logo and like the people are ushering out. It's the very last thing.
Okay, just spill it on me. What happened? It's
just Zurg floating through space, and then his eyes light up.
Okay.
So he's still there. And I don't think they're teeing up a sequel. God, I hope they're not teeing up a sequel. They could be teeing up a Disney Plus series.
Is that any better?
No. But I don't know. But yeah, again, and I was still like, So, all right. So Zurg lives on. So maybe he could become the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance. However, does that mean that by the time Andy got Buzz, there was also a sequel in which Zurg had gone on to become the sworn enemy?
Right.
Did Andy stay for the post-credit scene? Does he even... Like, Pete didn't stay for the post-credit scene. What are the chances that friggin' Andy did?
Okay, so I guess this bridge could exist to make the two align. You know, maybe Zurg, like, this is who Zurg is. It's like an alternate reality of Buzz where he's from the future. Okay, yes, he embodies Zurg. And then in this expanded universe, this is the Zurg who, you know, is in the video game in Toy Story 2 trying to kill Buzz. And I guess
it's still a stretch.
It's a stretch. I think when you break it back and break it down, it doesn't really make, like, it's not the most linear, obvious way I would have gone, but I guess it works.
I guess.
Can we talk about, now forgive me, maybe there's some news that I don't know why they went this way and why went not, but can we even just touch on the fact, where do you stand on the fact that it was Chris Evans voicing it and not Tim Allen?
That's where I wanted to go next anyways.
Sure.
So I mean, there were these nasty rumors that came out that Disney was done working with Tim Allen and Tim Allen can go F himself and blah, 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 blah. Listen, Disney is giving Tim Allen a Santa Claus show on Disney Plus. Disney is not severing ties with Tim Allen.
Sure.
The Claus is coming out on Disney Plus. So he's not done. Legitimately, the reason is because this is not that character. This is the guy from the movie. And how often, it's no different than any time, you'd go see a movie as a kid and then you'd get a toy with the push button and he says the things and you're like, that doesn't sound anything like clearly they didn't get the same guy. And that's it. That's all it is.
Or some toys that have the real character is Tom Hanks, but the toy character is voiced by his brother.
Yeah. But so that's the explanation for the why.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't have an issue with it.
Okay.
That was a big question mark for me going in. Mm-hmm. Is this going to bother me? And it really didn't, not once. And I was like, I felt like he channeled enough of Tim Allen's performance that I was like, okay, I can see how, if this is the movie that you're working from, I can see how you get Tim Allen to do the voice for the toy. Mm-hmm. Because there was enough of similar nuances.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thought he did a great job, and it didn't bother me once.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's interesting because I think people were speculating if it was a political or a drama that was the reasoning behind it. And I think it does make sense. Yeah. Just the idea of, the one character that it originated it doesn't necessarily need to be or should be the voice that was the toy and etc. and all those practical reasons you just went through. And I agree. Exactly. Chris Evans, I think if you were picking someone, I think there was no one that would have done it better. He did it incredibly well. The way he performed it and just his voice itself, I thought it was a seamless connection and option. And I thought I did not have a problem with that.
Yeah. No, I was happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did I miss a cameo of the Pizza Planet car? Because I did not see it.
No, but I don't know where you would put it.
But it's
I didn't catch any references or cameos.
I mean, but it's the Pizza Planet car. Pizza Planet car. I mean, they had.
It's a pickup, right? With a.
I don't. All that came up in my Google search was like toys. So I'm.
Oh yeah.
I don't see it. I didn't see it personally. It just it's kind of like the little short that's before a Pixar thing. That's its bread and butter, right? So I'm shocked I didn't see it.
Yeah. What are your other thoughts about this film, sir?
We've covered the main ones. I have to admit, in this film's favor, like I said, I kind of walked in the theater with a bit of disdain. I was feeling the fatigue after when I left. But I will say some things that I were surprised about was just it didn't lose its comedic touch, where Pixar films can make you laugh and chuckle, and this film had that with the cat, with the companion, with Buzz Lightyear, and I was not anticipating that I would have liked it. When I saw it in the previews, I'm like, I don't know, and it was the lifeblood of this film, and not only did I think it could, like, I laughed out loud at it. Like, I literally laughed out loud at a few different sequences. Particularly the original time that cat just shot a dart. I just laughed.
So funny.
I literally laughed out loud. And yeah. So I think it is a feather in this film's cap. It did have some comedic moments, and there was something to build on there.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else?
I think that's mainly it.
Yeah. It did some stuff well. It's got some action.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's funny.
Yep.
But it's just another mediocre installment for Pixar, ultimately.
Yeah. And even the critiques that I had, about the length and even the hokiness of Zurg and whatnot, even if these things had been fixed, I'm thinking about the length, I'm not saying that would have made it perfect. I'm not saying that would have even made it good. These critiques that I'm having would have upped what I'm going to give it as a score, but I think it still had a bit of a glass ceiling of the things that they presented could have only scored so high for me. It just, yeah, it was fine, but that's kind of where it could have peaked for me.
Sure. Scale of 0 to 10, sir. What do you think of Lightyear?
On my scale, the hokey, how much effort do you put into it? It falls right into the category of see it on a streaming site. So in this case, it'd be Disney Plus. We do this for fun. We have this hobby. We go see it in theater, so that's why we went and did it. But if I had to do it again, I wouldn't want to see it in theaters. I wouldn't want to pay premium access. For me personally, after I've seen it and know what it all has to offer, seeing it on a Disney Plus is more than adequate. On my scale of 0 to 10, I gave it a 6. It wasn't bad. Wasn't amazing. It was just a bit over the fence of, in between. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. Definitely some problems, but a bit of nostalgia, of some comedic moments. And oh my gosh, I can never pronounce his name. You can't go wrong with the comedic role of Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Did I do it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he provided, those things being said, 6 out of 10. What did you give it out of 10?
I also gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought, it's better than middle of the road, but not by much.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right on.
Listen, sir, I have some news for you. Some new news.
Guess what? Cineplex is charging $1.50.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, no, screw that. I mean, we already talked about it. I don't care.
Well, I think you do, but I get that you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Not gonna bring it up again. Listen. So speaking of Taika Waititi, he, as we've talked about on the show in the past, he has a Star Wars movie coming. And he was recently in an interview when he talked about sort of what the feel of his Star Wars movie is going to be. And he said that his Star Wars movie is going to expand the universe greatly. That it's going to be an all new story in an all new place with all new people. He says, because, like, I don't know, how boring is it to just spit out something with the same characters that you know doing the same things you've seen them do before. So yeah, he's going all new story, big departure from what we've seen in the past. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I think not just from it, not from his acting roles, but Taika Waititi has done enough for me to like earn my respect, to be in my circle of trust, that he can do whatever the heck he can do whatever the heck he wants from Thor Ragnarok. That just, I want to see a fresh new twist, not doing the same thing over again. I will give him the reins, and I am more than okay with this. Like, just let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah, honestly, he could do a movie tomorrow about a spoon. the trials and tribulations of a spoon. And I'd be like, this is going to be hilarious. It'll be hilarious and heartfelt and impactful and whatever else.
As it relates to Star Wars specifically, you know, I'm starting to get into the hater bandwagon of the whole Star Wars Disney product. And so I'm ready for a fresh twist on it. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for new ideas.
Including Obi-Wan?
We'll talk about it.
Okay. So next up, we have Ezra Miller.
Oh, what? Who did he punch in the face this time?
No one. But the CEO of Warner Brothers has career punched Ezra in the face. Okay. Ezra is out as the Flash moving forward.
And I think we expected this, right?
I don't think we'll see him again as Credence in the Fantastic Beasts franchise.
Sure.
The big question right now is, okay, so we're not going to see him as the Flash moving forward. But what about the Flash movie? That's been shot. It's done.
Oh, right. I think it has to be
reshoot it.
No, you can't.
That's
a sunk cost. Like, you have to eat it from a PR perspective and just say sorry. Like, maybe you can't do this, but maybe you put a disclaimer being like, we realize this guy's a jackass. I don't know. Like, yeah. What do you do, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't. Yeah,
you have to reshoot it in some thoughts, but you can't in others. You just can't. Yeah.
Jason Blum, the head of Blumhouse Productions, the famous horror film production company, wants to acquire the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street and do a reboot.
Okay.
And wants to get Robert Englund back to play Freddy.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, if you're going to do it, yes, you have to get him back. That's how you have to do it.
How old is he?
75?
Well, you better get going soon.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like, frankly, I don't care. Like, it was fun watching Nightmare on Elm Street and talking about it, but I could not care. Like, I don't care about that franchise, about it being rebooted. But what would pique my interest is if in recent years when they did the 21 Jump Street remakes and they brought Johnny Depp back from, obviously as a throwback from him being in the original TV show, I would get a kick out of these Nightmare on Elm Street remakes if Johnny Depp came back in them.
Oh yeah, and died the same way. Just blood gushing out of his stomach.
You can't ruin the movie.
It's from like the 80s.
It doesn't matter. You can't say that.
It's from the 80s. It's like the most iconic death in horror.
It doesn't matter if it's from 1812. You can't ruin it.
Dorothy makes it back home. Like, what do you?
Oh,
Pompeii doesn't make it. Like, what do you? This is like.
there is just still some. We have to honor the art that is film.
I think there's a window there that this falls outside of. Two last things, both MCU related. Chris Evans.
Nice, I've heard of him.
Said in an interview
that
he'd be more interested in coming back to play Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, than he would be to reprise his role as Captain America.
Dang.
There's no way they're going to do that.
Okay.
Right? Like, with the Fantastic Four entering the MCU, you can't have the guy that you just had playing Captain America now play the Human Torch again. Like, it's just too confusing. Right? It'd be like introducing a new hero in the MCU and casting Robert Downey Jr. People would be like, what? Like, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, that would be weird.
The other thing is Kevin Feige just said that in the coming months, the roadmap for Phase 5 of the MCU, which we're currently in, is going to become much more clear. It's something that Carl and I have talked about. I think you and I have talked a little bit about it, that this era of the MCU post Infinity Stones, it just doesn't seem really clear. Like, what is the connective tissue that ties it all together? Where is this going? What are we working towards? And Kevin Feige says, in the next couple of months, we're going to be dropping some pretty big hints.
Cool.
Now, you're not a big MCU guy.
I'm on the fence.
But does that ring your bell at all?
Well, I will say, I guess so. I mean, I was just looking at what obviously we have so far in this phase and what's to come, and there's some real ringers, even from a novice on the fencer like me. So, yeah, you know what? I will say yes. That is cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. One last thing.
Okay.
Top Gun Maverick. Has been out for just about a month.
Okay.
27 days.
Yep.
And it's currently sitting worldwide at 913 million.
I know that because I looked it up just a few minutes before we recorded.
So, it looks like it's going to pass $1 billion.
Yep.
Which still puts it quite a ways away from where you want it to be.
It's got a ways to go.
But what does this do for your, what does this do for you?
I think like when we talked about it, whenever that was, it might have been last week, but whenever we talked about it, I'm just curious to see how far this goes. And by no means am I saying it'll make top 10, top 20, top 30, but there's always a chance.
It's in the 63 slot now.
And I think when we talked last, it was in like the 112 or like
past and if 100, it passes $1 billion,
but that is an elite.
It'll put it into the 49th slot.
I honestly, again, this is not with intense movie business like knowledge and historical comparisons. I just honestly just think if there was ever a movie that has legs to run and run, it's this. Like 36 years, Tom Cruise, IMAX, all these things. I think there's a chance.
If it can do another 200 million, it will be in the 29th slot. Which
is still impressive.
Yeah, which is top 30.
Which I think just also like, yes, this has legs and this, it's impressive how we're still having this conversation. This also just blows my mind how crazy Spider-Man No Way Home was. That like it just went into top 10 like that. And that's incredible. And that was like we're still technically in a pandemic, but like that was like still some countries had more closures and less people were going to theaters. Like, what Spider-Man did was insane.
Oh, yeah.
With a bit of context.
Absolutely.
Like, the context now of realizing, like, Top Gun is moving, but it's not, like, just going like lightning. What Spider-Man did was just, like, insane at the time, but now I'm going, holy, that was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool. What'd you watch this week, sir?
I watched 3 things. The first, I watched the other half of the Avengers bookend. I watched Avengers Endgame. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's one of those that you watch to kind of wrap up a series. Has some good things, some really good things, but it also, for me, the MCU on the fencer had some stuff that was like, okay, this is a bit corny. Okay, this is fine, but what have you. But, you know, it's got some emotional parts. I love the Captain America elements to it that they go through, and I do really resonate and appreciate the Robert Downey Jr. Progression throughout the whole MCU. So it's got its moments, but at its core, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. I went on the Tom Cruise train and watched the 2013 Oblivion film. A futuristic dystopian world where Tom Cruise is trying to save the world from aliens or nuclear post fallout, and regardless, he has some weird memories and some weird things are going on, and he's kind of rediscovering what he believes is his reality. It was fine. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Has some visually cool moments, has some interesting things, and it hits on some really interesting, like, philosophical things about, like, memories and cloning and, like, what is it that a human being, you know, bases their experiences on and what makes them a person. But it literally just, like, introduces those ideas and then doesn't explore them, and so that's why it's only a 5 out of 10. There's a lot of room for things that could have gone deeper. The last thing I watched was I wrapped up the Disney's Obi-Wan Kenobi series, finishing the 6th episode. And in a nutshell, I think it's a bit of a meh for me. And I think I'm definitely being hard and critical of it, because when it finished, I watched the whole series with my wife, and she said, "Yeah, like I thought that was pretty good." She said, "I want to rewatch all the films again," and I honestly just didn't resonate with me. I think I just wanted some really cool fan service, some really cool character flashbacks, depth that we had, and that we could have had with what this whole show's about and who this character could have interacted with and what we could have seen from their past. But I felt like as a whole, the series was kind of meh, a lot of filler. I feel the 6th episode was the best, but to go through 5 episodes of a lot of just general filler with the occasional gold nugget, and if some of the things that we saw in the 6th episode were matched in intensity and we saw in like episode 1 or 2, and then this series had progressed or kind of rippled into cooler things of, you know, what we could have explored with, I think I would have sung a different tune. But for being a show about Obi-Wan Kenobi, like one of the most iconic Star Wars characters, and for how many years we've speculated on this, I feel like it was just like a deflated sail, that they really missed an opportunity to do something that could have been more special to me. And I think that's left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth with a lot of these Disney Star Wars properties. And I'm not saying they're all garbage. I'm not saying they're all awful, but more often than not, they are not great. What did you watch this week?
Jeez. Okay, so I watched Rocky 4.
Oh, you continued.
Yeah, and it was good. It's the one where he's up against the Russian. I can't remember his name. Or the actor who plays him. But it was good.
Okay.
Rocky's like, Sylvester Stallone is ripped in this one. Like, this is the one where he's just like terrifying to look at.
Terrifying.
It's like, good for you, buddy. Although he has to be, because he's up against this like drugged up superhuman. So that was good. I watched Miss Marvel episode 3.
Oh, cool.
I am loving this series.
I've only heard good things.
Yeah, it's so good. And then, like you, I watched the final episode of Obi-Wan, obviously.
And
your wife and I can sit and watch Star Wars together because, listen, the series is not without its flaws, but overall I enjoyed it. I liked watching it each week, and yeah, this episode was the best one for sure. And yeah, so we've been talking about rewatching them, but not just rewatching them, but like watching everything. Like
I know what you mean.
The Clone Wars show.
Oh,
well, because specifically, so listen, I've never sat and watched through the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
and yes, it's animated, but it's also like it's so much of it is like the relationship of Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I'm like, that's what I'm hungry for right now. I want to go deeper in that relationship. I want to see their past.
Brady, we just watched a 6-episode series on Obi-Wan. Don't you think they could have devoted a bit more time to flashbacks on that thing you're yearning for instead of watching like Obi-Wan like wrap up fish meat in a market?
Yeah, but not if it's already out there. Like if it's already, if you know,
don't
like,
do it like there's definitely. I hear what you're saying. Like you can't just copy and paste what's already out there. Fair enough, but I feel like they could have done what I'm saying without just duplicating what's out there.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Everyone's a critic.
Yeah, I am. I'm critical.
I liked it, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrap it up, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. We love hearing back from you as well. So if you want to give us a like and a comment on this episode post, on any episode post, just give us some feedback. Check out our links below. If you haven't already, like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're listening from us, like, follow, subscribe. Give us a good review. Check out our Patreon page, merchandise page. Help us pay the bills. Help us give you some perks back. And until next week, where we review something that is being voted upon as we speak. So we will TBD on what we will be talking about.
Yeah, we sure will. I don't know what else to say.
May the Force be with you. Or no, to infinity and beyond.
I guess. I mean, if you were being real cute, you could have said half of that. And then let me say the other half.
To infinity.
No, you missed your moment.